Welcome to Writer Therapy, a space for serious writers to talk openly about creativity, workflow, balance, and everything in between. Join us for casual conversations about craft, the writing life, and why we keep coming back to the page. No matter where you are in your writing, you're welcome here. This is Writer Therapy. In this episode, we'll be talking to Courtney Shawl, author of You Are the Sum of Your Last Two Moves, Exercise for the Soul, and the Ultimate AI Cheat Code. Courtney teaches people how to speak out their book and turn their story into a personal brand. She also runs a free songwriting community at school.com/onedaysongwriter.
So tell me about yourself, Beck. Who are you as an author? Where are you in your writing? And tell me about, I see you have 3 books.
Yeah, and I have a 4th one coming out. I'm going to self-publish it next week. I'm just waiting on the foreword.
Oh, exciting.
Called Exercise for the Soul, and I think that's like the book.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's the book. I feel like I had to write a couple to get down on like this is the book.
Right.
But yeah, so I did not see myself as an author at all. I actually went into a mentorship program just trying to launch my business One Day Songwriter, and I kind of got distracted on premium offers, just seeing what other people were doing. I was like, oh, maybe I want to coach, maybe I want to do this. People in there, because I wrote my book so fast, I spoke it out, they wanted to learn. So then I was like, well, maybe this is what I'm meant to do, like help other writers get their book out. And I do think that's still an element because one of my clients, we're building out her brand, and she's like a financial coach, and she wrote like a phenomenal book. Like somebody was literally at a birthday party and they just sat down and just started like binge reading her book. And the wife came over and was like, what are you doing? Like, we're at a birthday party. And she was so shocked because he was so scared about money. So for me, helping people like get out their unique gift and their purpose is so important. Mm-hmm. And I realized that like I myself didn't see through my own. And so I'm kind of taking a couple of steps backward because I saw the vision so quick. I was like, oh, that's what I want to do, but I have to fulfill doing that for myself first, which is One Day Songwriter. So I'm really kind of focused back in on building up One Day Songwriter, where I teach people how to write a song in an hour. And that came from being a board certified music therapist in the psych hospitals. Like I have a simple structure to help anyone write a song. Mm-hmm. And through that, I built out One Day Songwriter just because I saw other people making courses. I was like, well, maybe I can make a course. And the same therapeutic benefits were happening in the course, even though they were there to like learn how to like use AI in their demo tracks. Right. And so I realized I was kind of onto something. And I had a therapist break down crying and was like, we're going to do like a CE program together. So I realized I have to fulfill that to show, hey, if you write the book, which mine is Exercise for the Soul, and build the brand around it, and that book is going to then sell the course because they'll be more bought into the idea that we're all meant to make music and that it heals us, but trying to teach that on like a 30-second ad online isn't going to do it. But a book, yeah, it can change somebody's philosophy and ideas. So I'm kind of more in like the nonfiction, not self-help, but like kind of, I guess. I don't love the term self-help, but yeah.
I know it has a certain sound to it. So One Day Songwriter is, you lay out the system within the book. Remind me the title of the book one more time.
Yeah, the title is called Exercise for the Soul. Mm-hmm. Why we're all meant to make music and how it heals us. And the idea is that at the inception of time, and it goes into writing too. Like at the inception of time, humans made music. They shared their stories through music, and then we completely just lost that, and we were told we became performative, like a spectator sport. And then like if you weren't like Taylor Swift or something, then people just tell you to stop singing or stop playing because they only see it as an all or nothing game of like you either pursue music because you have an ounce of talent or you shut up and don't sing. And that's kind of where we're at right now, where like we could also just make music for the sake of it. So that's kind of the point of the book. And like, basically, I don't know if you're familiar with therapeutic things like grounding techniques or EMDR, but all of these things that like help people are packaged in this 15-minute exercise. So like you process your 5 senses, you write what you thought and felt, you turn it into lyrics with my structure of 6 to 12 syllables per line, like no music theory. And then you put the lyrics into AI, or you sing it into AI, or you learn an instrument. But like, it's just, I'm trying to give access points to people, because like we didn't all grow up learning guitar. We didn't all grow up learning whatever. And so I've just different access points for people to play their song. And then when you record it, it's externalized outside of you, and you can actually listen to a memory outside of you, which is also very therapeutic, and it gives the memory a place to live. So like, it's helped with writer's block. Like this Berkeley kid, he came in and was like, oh, I've been having writer's block. And like, it completely eliminated that for him, because it's speed writing. So I call it like somatic speed songwriting. And so that's what that's kind of the process. And so through that, we have so much heavy, unhealed stuff that we haven't processed. And until we process those emotions, we can't like step into our purpose. And that's kind of what leads into my other book and later vision of helping people step into their purpose and calling. But you have to release the blocks first. And that's why writers have writer's block, because we don't believe that our book is going to sell. If we knew we were going to sell 1 million copies tomorrow, we would get the book done today.
Yeah,
like writer's block doesn't exist. It's just we don't believe that it's good enough. And we like over filter ourselves. So that's why I teach people to speak out their book, because it's the same process as songwriting. But when you speak it out, you're not saying like you do have to do it for the whole thing. Like writing is a craft in itself too.
Right.
But like when you brain dump and speak it all out to get that transcript, it gives you so much more gold content to then write it the way you want to write it.
So where does AI play a role in that process? Because I assume you're marketing to people who have a background in music or experience like writing a song. I like write songs and I've done in the past and do it, like I've been writing one last week even. I find like how I do it is I almost like mumble the words out. I go more for the sound, not the words, and then I figure out the words. But what I'm catching is that it's you're telling them just like let it out. Is that the idea? And then let AI clean it up in a sense.
Kind of. And so it just depends on the person. So for you, like we all have a natural way that music comes. For me, it's the melody and words and not the accompaniment. So I'm singing everything a cappella. So my process with AI is I sing it a cappella. I put it into something like Suno, and it creates the demo track. I take the vocals off. And then I put my voice on, and now I have a demo track that, you know, if I want to go actually get it produced, they have an idea of what I actually want it to sound like versus I was signed with a local label, and I had my shot, but I blew it, I guess you could say, with a real, like a huge record label. I like signed an NDA. It was a whole process. And they were not getting my songs because I was sending them the unplugged version because I didn't have the skill set to produce. But even still, like, producing those songs like is artificial intelligence. GarageBand, Logic, all those samples are artificial intelligence too. So it's just like speed. And also I went to a conference with a bunch of like Nashville songwriters that are in the industry. They are all using this for demo tracks themselves. And some of them, they don't want to admit it, but I know they're also using it for the production side as well. They just will not admit it. I know.
It's like I use AI editing my writing.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm not copying and pasting. I'm not saying rewrite this and copying and pasting. I say like pretend you're, you know, a professional editor and I want this polished for publication. And so I can either accept the changes or not, but essentially it's like you're hiring another entity that costs a lot less. If you were going to hire a band, the band would come up with that music. So essentially
it's been like $100,000 to produce the same song.
Exactly.
I can't remember. It was like a Vampire Sundown or something. They had 1 million like listeners on Spotify. And like, I don't think that's ethical to not tell people. Yeah. But if you're telling people, like, it's just an expression of art. And like my music therapy background, live music and recorded music are not the same thing. Their benefits are not the same. And so I don't care if it, like, to me, a recorded song by AI or recorded by musicians, they're so altered anyways. It doesn't it doesn't matter. It's what matters is, for example, I'm writing, I basically took from scratch, like every single psalm from the Bible, all 150, and I've put them into AI and changed different genres. I don't think somebody wants me to sing all 150. They want an eclectic version. My goal is these are demo tracks. They are on Spotify, but I've made it clear that they are AI. But I want people to cover them and have other people's voices on them. It's just a demo so that they can go play them live. They can, if they're not a musician, they can sing them in the car. Like that's
they can license them for
music.
Church. Like, you know, in church they license.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the songs, the expression of that art is being played. And going into writing books, it just depends on the book. So like in the nonfiction, especially in the self-help, the goal is not to be the best writer in the world. The goal for these books is to transform someone's life. So they don't care who, like, I mean, most of them have been ghostwritten. I have a mentor and he's like a multimillionaire, and almost every book by these like big gurus, ghostwritten, but also transcribed from their teachings. And so we're doing the exact same thing, but just for free, basically, with our own skills. We have access to what all these like multimillionaires have been doing that they just haven't said. They say, oh, I wrote this book. No, they didn't. They had a ghostwriter that used their transcriptions, and we're doing the exact same thing. Now, I could see like in the fiction world where, yeah, if it would be AI slop to just write like an idea and write the whole book, and it's going to sound terrible, and you can tell. I actually gave my method to somebody, and this is where you can see of what you're saying of like using it for its correct purpose. I gave my method to someone where I spoke everything out. Their book was horrible. My book, our mentor, like said it was one of the best books he's ever, You Are the Sum of Your Last Two Moves, my first book. He said it was in his top 20 and one of the best books he's ever read. And it was so well written. And it was well written because I had it edited, you know?
Yeah, you have to go through it. You have to clean it up. You can't.
And it was,
that was like another kind of sort of genesis of the group is like these Facebook groups, and they're really nice, but I find that there's so much coming at you. It's a lot of people posting their first drafts, and I've learned that, you know, editing is all of it. You getting things down is almost the fun, easy part. You know what I mean? And that's the hard work. Well, so tell me about your first book.
Yeah, so my first book is You're the Sum of Your Last Two Moves, How Do You Use the Secrets of the Fibonacci Sequence to Get Unstuck in Life? And I basically just teach people that we all have a unique calling, and we can practically quantum leap, not manifest, nothing woo-woo like that, but we can practically quantum leap by looking at and reflecting on our past experiences and combining those two to make the next move in our sequence. And One Day Songwriter is my example of that. I was a music therapist. I also did marketing. I ran a meta ads agency and marketing agency. I combined those two skills to create One Day Songwriter. But had I not gone through these two experiences, I wouldn't have been able to create something like One Day Songwriter because I didn't have the experience of the experience of building a course, running meta ads for other businesses in order to create that. Another example is like if, you know, you're a teacher and you're really good at like DIY crafting. Well, you put a camera to yourself and you can become an influencer and like make $1 million a year just with your crafts. So it's just like basically teaching you that whatever you've done, learn one new skill and it can multiply everything that. And so for me, the one new skill I had to learn to create One Day Songwriter was the marketing piece. And also on top of that, mentorship is a multiplication. So if you have a mentor, they can see your gifts and also multiply what you're already doing. And most people don't realize that in quantum mechanics, like the energy that's required to quantum leap is belief. And most of us do not have belief in ourselves. And so that's where mentors come in is, yes, you could get belief from God, but you can't get it from yourself. And that's like the counterfeit of manifestation. If you manifest, the belief is coming from yourself. You're the source. You won't get to what you want. But if the belief is coming from an outside source, like quantum mechanics actually shows, is the energy is coming from a photon, you're the electron, you can't generate it to quantum leap. So you need something external, which is belief from somebody else. And I call them like vessels, people. And it's not like it's their belief in you to get you to that next level. So I wouldn't have been where I was without my mentor believing in me so much, because he's the one that told me to write a book the first time. He's the one that like really, I got off track with One Day Songwriter. He's the one that again believed in me and was like, you know, you don't need a premium offer. Chick-fil-A is like $1 billion business. You can just do One Day Songwriter and that will be a $20 million business. But I didn't believe that. I needed somebody else to believe in me. So that's what that first book is about, is basically practically quantum leaping. A lot of people talk about it, but they don't know. And so with that book, that led to an offer of me helping other people write their own books, because they saw all the opportunities that were coming to me from that first book. I got on Next Level CEO with Damon John from it, and like they wanted the success, I mean, quote unquote success. But I wasn't making book sales, but I was making deals because of the book.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, most authors don't sell
People
many
took
books.
you seriously because of what you
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was the point of that book. And so like, then I created an offer, and like in the first month, I made $11,000 just teaching people how to speak out their book, how to speak out their edits, just because they liked the success of my book. And so like that in itself, again, quantum leap. I plan to make $11,000 in the first month after that book, you know?
That's the interesting thing about like faith or belief in whether it's like spiritual, religious, or just, you know, like faith in general, is that I always think of it as like it's like reckless optimism. Like you're just like, it's not really reckless, it's nice. But I find like I started doing this because I had like a slow season. It's like this optimism is like, okay, well, as long as I'm trying and like my heart's in it, you know what I mean? And I feel like writers have to have that. You're not going to finish a book without it. It's like,
Oh yeah. Well, and if you don't believe in it, then it's never going to succeed. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but like she got rejected a lot. Like, and people forget that it's not until you fully believe in it, and like you have to go through those trials of people not getting it. Obviously, you need some type of self-awareness, but if you know and you believe that this is the greatest book, it will be. But if you don't believe that and you're insecure about your writing, then it's not going to be good because you don't believe in it yourself. And if you don't believe in it, you're not going to give your best work. You might like chop out on the editing or like skip the proofreading on all that stuff because you don't think it's good enough. And so then you don't give it.
If you believe it, you'll work hard on it. Actually, it's like you'll refine it. And my main goal when I edit is like my big like yes is when I actually like remove words. That to me is like the most successful thing I can do. So, and then you have a third book. I have it right here in front of me.
Oh, the Ultimate AI Cheat Code. Most people, and I've seen this in the AI space, like there are consultants charging businesses $3,000 to just set up like Claw on their computer, or like teach them how to create an AI PowerPoint. But all of this is learnable because like AI can teach you AI, but like writers are in the perfect spot for this. And it could be a great way for writers to create income from themselves, just like a side. Is like AI can teach you AI. You just have to bring the imagination. So that whole book is just on, I have 3 kids. And so I saw SpongeBob before writing the book. And it was that imagination one where like Squidward doesn't get it. And he's like, why is this box like making noises? And SpongeBob and Patrick are in the box. There's like these realistic avalanche sounds. And they're like, you have to use your imagination. And Squidward just doesn't get it. And that's what AI is right now. AI is the box. It's not evil. It's not anything. It's just a tool. And you have to bring your imagination to bring things to life. And so people who use it will be multiplying their impact to speed up the time. So like, you know, if you use AI to help you edit, to help you get through the publishing checklist, to like help you do all the things, to help you, you know, send out
contracts.
all the emails, read contracts, all the things.
It's major like help. Wow.
Exactly. You know? And so it's like, use it where you feel it's not unethical to you, and then go for it. Like it will multiply like, I mean, if you could have AI send out 100 pitches a day to these like literary agents, how far would you be versus you freezing because you're scared of what you're about to write to them, and then like taking an hour to send like one when you
Yeah.
could send 100 in that same hour, and then
Yeah.
get the book deal if that's the route you want to go. Or if you're trying to self-publish, create the content and all the video ideas
Right.
to then make for your TikTok, for your book talk. Like and so that's what that book really is about. It's like teaching you how all these experts became experts. And the way they became experts is they played like babies. Babies, like, they take their parents' iPhone, they press some buttons, they learn how to take a picture. Nobody taught them. We didn't want them to learn it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
same with AI.
It's like the horse to the car, like that. We're all gonna have to adapt. You have to do it. I've been telling my wife, like, you just try to use it, and you're gonna find you'll come out with a flow. If you like fall in love with it, or you can't do anything without it, then maybe it's a problem. But it's such a major tool, because I can say, be mean to me, tell me if this chapter's horrible,
Yeah.
and it'll do it. It doesn't care, and
Yeah.
well, so your upcoming
Yeah.
book.
So for this book, the one thing that I changed, which like made this book so much better, was I ended up using Claude Code. And I created like a file architecture system on my computer. It's not hard. It sounds harder than it is, but it's not hard. And so that way it had persistent memory of everything. So I fed it my first book, so it understood my tone, how I write. And I didn't have to retell it because it knew it one time. I uploaded all my documents on my songwriting stuff, all of that, so it understood, like, okay, this is my framework. And then I had it do research for me on things where I was like, okay, I remember this study from college. I know that, like, for example, one of them is like writing one song. They assessed a group, and 90% of them met criteria for depression and anxiety. After writing one song, that number dropped to 15% and stayed consistent when they checked them 6 months later. Now, I couldn't remember exactly where that study was, so I asked AI to like help me. And then I had it help me like with all the other things that I knew in my head, but I didn't fully know. So it helped me do the research. And what I did is I went chapter by chapter. So I brain dumped everything, and I wrote each chapter that way by speaking it out. I said, okay, this is how I want to start it, blah, 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 blah. I talked for like 20 minutes more, or maybe more per chapter. It would transcribe it and then write out what I just said. And then I would edit it on the spot, minor edits. And I finished it. And then I went through a whole second round of edits. So I went again through the whole book after that. And this is where I know people get with the covers. So I use it as a creative process. So I actually didn't use AI for my cover because doing marketing and meta ads, I understand like scaling and the sizes and all this stuff, that like it's really hard to convert one of those AI covers onto like a book. But I used it to like, exactly. Yeah. I used it to give me examples, and I was like, let me look at the books that I like, the titles that are similar to my thing. So I had it review, okay, what font is Let Them Theory and Atomic Habits using? Because that's the font I want. I don't know graphic design, so I asked it and it told me the font, and I got a font similar. And so like, yeah. And so I then went on to Canva. I put that font in. I was like, okay, well, and I started using my brain and doing the thinking, and then having AI research for me. I was like, okay, well, what's the other thing that they have in common? It seems like they all have bright colors. Like, what color would be good for this? And it gave me, again, a good color. And then it gave me 5 options. And then I picked the color that I like. So then I put that color into Canva. And then when I was writing it, I was like, oh, the O is perfect for a record. Let me put a record there.
Nice.
AI didn't tell me that, but then that's what I did. And because I noticed a pattern that the title on best-selling books is usually huge, and usually the design is integrated into the actual words. And I think a lot of self-published authors get it wrong, where they don't make the title stand out, and they put like all these pictures around it, and it makes it look bad.
Yeah, because unless the picture is incredible and like exactly,
yeah,
it's so hard to nail that. It's so rare.
Well, and I'll show you, if you want me to share my screen real quick. I'll show you what it looks like. So here's my cover. Yeah, like it's simple, but it's also intricate. Like the record is there. It makes sense. And
yeah, Yeah, we already have a sense of kind of like exercise for the soul could have been about food, but we know it has to do with music. You know what I mean? Like we're
Well, and if you
already.
look at like buy back your time, like they have the little like time things integrated in the
Hmm.
thing. And you don't have to be a graphic designer. That's the other thing. I'm not a graphic designer, but like by using AI to like the original font it told me to make, I'll even just show you so you can see how many iterations I
Yeah.
went. Because I think, yeah, I think this is important. But like, okay, so I had all these different colors. They weren't hitting it.
Hmm.
And before that, I don't think I have it, but I had different like fonts and I couldn't figure out like what font
Hmm.
to do because it was and
Fonts are rough.
originally the
Fonts are
oval
really
like
hard.
yeah, it was an oval. Had I stuck with the oval one that AI told me to do, I wouldn't have gotten the
Yeah,
record.
you
So
wouldn't
you
have.
have to like I think I played around for like 2 hours on this. This was the original font I had. That would have not no, that's
Hmm.
not it. No,
You couldn't have done a
there it
record.
is. Exactly. So
There
like
it is. Yeah.
that wouldn't have done it, but it looks nice, I guess. That was just like
It
yeah.
would have been a totally different cover. It would have been like you have the record behind it or something, or
Exactly. And so like
something
it's
like that.
like
Yeah.
keeping it simple, but then asking
Interesting.
AI, like I asked it what hex color I should use, and it gave me 5 different oranges. And I was like, oh, I
Great.
never would have picked orange ever.
And then there is like a theory of my father is in construction and he used to build Starbucks. He would like talk to their, design expert and they would say like, "Oh, these colors like invite people to sit down and like relax." And it was back in the 90s when like sitting in the cafe was sort of
Yeah.
like up and coming. And so, and those things matter. Like my sister was saying that certain yellows will invite conversation.
Oh,
Blue says this. So I wonder what orange, like why
I'm
orange?
interested. I don't know. I just like I thought of when I saw it, I immediately thought of Orange Theory, that exercise.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
And like that's kind of the vibe. So energy, enthusiasm, creativity, and warmth.
Yeah,
Like,
I think fun. Like looking at your cover, I'm thinking it's fun. It's like it's not so serious in like a good way.
and that's what I want because like people like when they think about writing songs, even musicians, they freeze up. And like I
Yeah.
don't want that feeling. I want people to realize like music is meant like literally we're all supposed to make it. And on top of that, like we're talking about trauma in the book, like I don't want it to be so gloomy because somebody
Right.
who actually needs to release trauma, who's a suppressor like me, is not going to pick up a book that's dark and black that
Yeah.
says like heal your trauma today. And I think so many writers get so stuck on their thing.
Yeah. They
It's
get
like you have to
precious as
be
they say.
so
Yeah.
divorced. Yeah, like what does the market want versus what you want? I wanted to talk about songwriting heals people, but what the market wants is they want like Atomic Habits. So I'm going to make something like Atomic Habits. Like everyone needs exercise. Okay, well, this is the exercise for your soul.
I love it. I love it. I was driving home. I'm a videographer, photographer, and I saw sometimes I have like long drives to jobs. And I had this long drive, and I'm like, let me chat with ChatGPT. Like the app is here on my CarPlay.
Oh yeah.
And I had never done it, but it was great because I just sat there and like spitballed ideas. And then finally I'm like, what are you? What, and
Yeah.
honestly, like if you're confused about what it is, just ask it. Say like, what are you? Do you have feelings? Do you have emotions? Do you care? Well, so now you have a school community also. Is that right?
I do. I have a school community. It is going to be like the community where people can write songs and just have that same ideology. So like one of the things too with songwriting is people are very judgy, and this is going to be a community where like it doesn't matter if you're tone deaf, it doesn't matter what it is. We're just here to make art. And I think that's just really been lost because everyone in the songwriting community is just so much in pursuance of becoming famous. And
Right.
like, I mean, I think I see that even still in like the regular writer community too. Like they don't see that like you can make such a big impact even with small sales. And like I've seen that. I haven't sold 1,000 books or anything, or like thousands and millions of books, whatever. But the impact of my writing has helped people greatly. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
like, when you look at the importance, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, like that's what matters is like your impact on. There's so many good fiction books that have transformations inside of them as well, in the lessons that you learn through the story. I think people forget that. They're just so focused on the money.
It applies with music too, because you know how to play like one song on the piano pretty well, like a blues song.
Yeah.
My son loves it. And it's funny because it's like I actually get so much joy just playing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it doesn't need to be recorded. It's not my song. I'm not going to ever make money from it, but I get so much joy playing because I'm like, oh yeah, you know. For some reason, I came up with a song and I wrote it, and like I don't even have the words yet, but I'll just sit like in between, probably between this interview and the next. I'm gonna like sit for like 5 minutes and just rip it because it's true. Like music just makes you feel good just being in it and around it and expressing yourself. Who cares if you're singing to the wall or to God or to no one? Like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
And writing could be the same thing. It's like, why do we all write in journals? Why do we, write love letters to each other? Why does that stuff matter? It does. You just gotta like let it out,
Yeah, it's like literal therapy. And like that's like all the expressive arts, including writing books and poems or whatever you're writing. It's like it all has a place in healing us. And the Greek word for soul is psyche. And like that's where psychology comes from. And everything we used to do to heal our soul, we stopped doing. I talk about this in my book too, of like the starving artist identity. And I see that in the writing community too. And just in general is like your whole identity becomes the writer. And when that happens, and then the accolades and the money don't come, you become depressed because that's your whole soul identity versus just making it a part of your life and writing for the sake of writing. And when you just write for the sake of writing, all those opportunities come back. But when you're in pursuit of it, like they don't always show up. And so I think like what people forget is like, it's just we're meant to write, we're meant to songwrite, we're meant to play music for the sake of doing it. And there are a select few that like obviously do get to monetize, but the happiest people, and I even saw this, there's an independent artist at this one conference I was at. He was like a Grammy level type person. And he talked about how we all need a day job. And people don't want to talk about this, but we need a day job. And it actually makes your art better because you're not reliant on the money that comes from it. Yeah. And so you can actually make it really good. Because even when you get published, they completely, annihilate your writing, and it doesn't become what you really wanted anyways. So, and they take all your money and they don't market it. Like I really wanted to like actually get a book deal. And my mentor was like, why? Mm-hmm. And he made like $3 million with his self-published book. And so, and that's why he said why. He's like, the only people who a publishing deal works out for is someone who's already famous. And so like he said, like with his next book, he's going to do that. He's going to get a book deal. But like his first two, he never would have done that because he made so much more money. Like he gets to keep the sales. He gets to control the price. He gets to control the distribution. So he doesn't sell on Amazon.
And it seems to me like authors become, famous or recognizable because of their voice. But if you go through a publisher who like diminishes your voice, it's like you're just going to be one of many. But we're going to have to do another interview because we'll get into your writing life and all that. I want to know how you find a mentor. So I got a lot of more questions for you. So we'll do this again sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can learn more about today's guest in the description and show notes. If you're a writer looking for a focused, encouraging, and authentic creative community, join us at school.com/writertherapy. Whether you're outlining your first idea, deep into revisions, published, or somewhere in between, you are welcome here. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next session.